Goblins, countrymen, our time has arrived. This battle won't be easy. You will be hit hard. You will be slammed repeatedly. Theo, I'm looking at you. But despite the serious pain, victory is ours!
Knack 2 has arrived. Only on PlayStation 4. Rated everyone 10 and up.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that everybody can hear me. Okay, I'm going to go back and change the music down just a little bit for my my headset. If the music's too loud, just let me know and I will either turn it off or turn it down. All right, so what I have here is master copy. This is every month and everything that we are working on. This is everything that I have. So what I need to do is I actually need to go see and what the tax rate is for this year for input. So let's go and I need to switch keys. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Let's see if that works a little bit better. All right, I had to do some little jargling so that way I can hear myself whenever this goes on. What we are looking at is the per diem rate, the food rate that they charge for over-the-road truck drivers. That way, whenever I input the days that he has for the months, I can calculate it by whatever this O number is that's right here. And that shows me exactly what I need to multiply the days that he's out by, and that gives us the total for the month. So let's go look for that, and we'll be right back. Well, yeah, we're just going to go look for that, and I will be right back as soon as I finish typing, because I got to hold down the key, obviously, to talk. So let's go look for that. Okay, so now what we're looking for is the rate of the food amount that we can have. Why does this not look like the official website? Okay, let's go check out the forum. Hold on. Okay, see this line right here? Line 24? This is what I'm looking for. And I need line 24B, which is what I'm looking for. So now we're going to go back on the other one and find this line 24. And it's under expenses right here. So that's what we're going to go do. So expenses, line 24. Okay, so what this is telling me for line 24B for the standard meal allowance is that standard meal allowance is the federal M&IE rate. You can find these rates, location, blah, blah, blah. So we need to go to this to figure out what our meal rate is for a DOT person. Ha ha ha, we found it. It's right here. Okay, so the standard meal allowance in the federal MIE, see if we can get this expanded a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so doing taxes, you have to read and then read and then read some more. So on this one, it says that your standard rate is 51 a day. So that is for like how do I say that? That is just covered all across the board for every driver. Say like I get in my vehicle, my own personal vehicle, and I drive for a business. My business is in my vehicle. Well, my standard meal allowance rate is $51 a day. But my husband being a truck driver, his is more because he does federal DOT standards. And if you look at this as transportation workers, and it directly involves moving people or goods by airplane, barge, bus, ship, train, or truck. That's what my husband does, is he drives by truck. Okay. So regularly requires you to travel away from home, and during any single trip usually involves travel to areas ineligible for different standard meals rates. So this does. So if you're in state and you're only in the state that you're working, you use this $51 a day for your meal allowance. But if you're if you're a truck driver, then we are using $63 a day, because what it does is it does all the states, averages it out, because if you go to like New York, it's more expensive, or like the East Coast is more expensive, the South is cheaper, or whatever. So it kind of variates your prices out to like this medium range. So they're figuring $63 a day for a single person in a truck, because you're not able to get to a kitchen. You have to buy all your meals. So they average $63 a day, which is what we were looking for. So now we can take this price and go back to the paperwork that I'm working on and tag in the $63, which I think is what was in there from last year anyways. As you see here, I had this in there from last year, and it's the $63. Okay, I'm going crazy here. My paperwork's going cuckoo cooey. Okay, so as you can see, this one right here that I've highlighted is $63 a day. So what we're going to do is, oh, I'm going to need to change this. Oh, actually I don't. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take, like, we're going to go to January. So what it does is that I put meals right here. So if he's out like on the 1st, so if he's out like the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, then I'm going to put ones in all these, and then he's home for like 2 or 3 days, and then we go back to this one, or go back down to here, and then he's out, for another week or whatever. So what I do is I get a running total, not with money amount here, not with the money amount here. And what this does is it gives me how many days he was out. Then we take this number, and then we go back over here, and we plug in that number here. We plug in that number here for January, and then we multiply that number by the 63. That makes sense? So say we have 100. So we take 100 times 63, which gives us $6,300. So we plug the $6,300 in right here, and that gives me a running total. So by the time I'm done, I will have grand totals on all these on what we spent for the whole year at the very bottom. This right here is my grand. This right here is the grand total of everything that he has spent on that truck for the whole year, which is insane because last year's was crazy, crazy insane. So let's go back into January and let's start looking at our paperwork. I gotta go grab paperwork first. So. Sorry, making sure my channel is up and I have my chat up. That way I can talk to everybody, whoever's on here. So let's go grab January's paperwork. And all during the year, I have a separate place for just our receipts. Every receipt that we spend, no matter if it's household, truck, whatever, it all goes into like a file box. I have like a 3-drawer file box. All my like bigger bills, like electric and stuff like that, your credit cards that are the bigger ones, has a separate drawer in the bottom. The kids' paperwork that they get from school for like, report cards or, whatever materials that, you want to keep and, their projects that you want to keep goes into the bottom drawer. And then the top drawer is like all my little fluff stuff. Like my scissors and my pens and stuff like that I might need. But what I do is once a month I go in there and I put everything into its own little envelope. And so that's what everything does. It goes into its own little envelope. I have it split up between household and his truck. I will put pictures on here the next time I come on here and show you what the envelopes look like that I have. I have a big plastic bin with all of the envelopes that are in it. And at the end of the year, when I'm done with our taxes and I get our taxes printed out and finalized and everything else, it all goes in that bin and that gets put up and I buy a new one for next year. So hopefully in a couple of years or whatever, we won't need any of his truck stuff. It'll just be household, 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 and I'll go to a big bin to a little small thing. So let me grab January's envelope and let's start with the meals. So if anybody's on here, you have any questions or anything, let me know. All I'm doing is going through here and just taking out just his food receipts. Everything else goes onto a different side, which we will figure out later. Put that one I don't need. And he is a company driver. So some of the stuff that he has to pay for, he doesn't get back, and other stuff he does get back. So, but I know from doing taxes that we get all of his meals because he's out on the road all the time. So, sorry if it seems like I'm scatterbrained. I'm kind of looking through his receipts. I split up what his fuel receipts are too. I used to keep track of them, but I told him just to keep track of them in case anything happens. The world happens, crap hits the fan, blah, blah, blah. His drink refills that he gets, I told him, I said, I don't care if you pay for them, not pay for them. That gives me a day that you're out, and that helps me out with inputting the days that he has to pay for food or whatever. That's a food receipt. Some of the showers he has to pay for. So it's very involved for a truck driver. You have to know what you're looking for, how you're looking for it, because if it ever comes back, on you. You have to know what you're talking about when you do taxes. You can't just go into an audit and say, oh, yeah, I'm just going to pull this right out of my ass and tell you what I think I was supposed to do and not do what I was supposed to do. Yeah, you can't quite do that because they will nix you and they will thump you on your head and say, nope, go back, try again, try this again. Me, being the paperwork queen that I am, I know what I'm doing. I've done taxes for a long, long time. And so I do this every year. I had to teach, sorry. I am a little on the sick side, so give me a second. Had to teach the husband how to make sure that he keeps all of his stuff. Sorry, I'm looking at one of the receipts. It looks kind of catty-wampered. Everything. I don't care what he pays for. This is our house. Sometimes I get stuff shuffled. But, everything. I don't care if he pays for food. I don't care if the company pays for this, that, whatever. I am getting... I need to ask about this one. I don't know what this is. Oh, grocery tax, so that's food. Okay. But other miscellaneous stuff, we keep, we keep a hold of everything. Like I said, I need to know, what days he was out. That way I can calculate that per diem. Anybody have any questions yet? I'll be more than happy to answer what I can. And if I can't answer it, I will get back to you or direct you where you could probably find the answer. 9 out of 10 times, irs.gov. Don't type anything else, just irs.gov, and then look up whatever form you are looking for to go on to, and that usually helps. Yeah, I will post what his tax part is. I will not post what my tax part is. You guys would have a freak out if you knew half the shit that I was spending on. I mean, just regular bills. You would be like, holy crap, that's a lot for bills. I mean, she really, really, really want to see it. I don't care, but it's a little up there. Okay, I'm gonna expand everything a little bit because I don't need everything running in the background. If there's nobody here but me, yay, me! And I know taxes are the last thing on everybody's mind right now. But if you have a business, you need to keep your business and your personal papers, taxes, receipts, everything totally separate. Do not ever put your household in with your business. You need to keep track of everything. If you own a home, anything that you do to your house as far as repairing, like your major items, like your air conditioner, your duct work, any improvement that you do, keep all those receipts in a separate folder that just says house. Like, you know, when you sign your paperwork for your house, you have that a folder, I hope, that says that has all your house paperwork in it. Sorry if I talk too fast, let me know also. So what you do is that when you sign your paperwork for your house, all your taxes and everything, put that all in one folder. As you make improvements on your house, I know like years later, if you ever sell your house, you need all that. So what you do when you get your receipt, so say you do like you're going to do a new deck, okay? So it's going to improve your property. So you get, you know, the materials, you get the wood, you get the nails, you get the railings, you get the whatever you need for it, right? So say you need to buy a power tool, okay? So you can take that power tool off also, either all in one lump sum, or if you know you're going to use it later, obviously if you buy a power tool, you might use it later. But if you bought it purposely just for that improvement, me personally, I would, sorry. That's what I was saying. Me personally, I would take that off of my tax return because I'm not going to need a nail gun for anything else other than doing the decking. If I use a nail gun, it'd probably be like years later and go, oh yeah, we do have a nail gun, don't we? That's my house. Okay, let me explain what I've done. I have done this for 4 years now. I know what he needs. I know I actually grabbed the Schedule C. Where are we? Okay, so this is your standard Schedule C, right? Correct. Sorry, I was trying to make this bigger. It's not going to make it bigger. So what I did was, I know all this already. This is on my previous tax returns. I just leave all this alone. Your income, unless you have your own business, you're going to have to put your income. My husband, being a truck driver, he has a W-2. He is a company driver. He is not a owner operator. He does not own his own truck. So he does not have gross sales that go into his truck. He receives a W-2 like everybody else does. So all this right here has nothing to do with anything with him at all. What we want to look at is this right here. This is the things that we want to look at. So when I went through, I looked at all of this. Other than his fuel, because his fuel is paid for by company. Don't have to worry about his fuel. Don't have to worry about mileage. Don't have to worry about mortgage or legal expenses sometimes. Traffic tickets are a legal expense on if you own if you get a ticket on the vehicle that you are driving for a business. If you get a traffic citation, that is a legal expense. If you got to go to blah 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 town that is not your town, that is a travel expense that goes along with your legal and professional expenses. But that's more involved on a regular Schedule C, a regular business. I can go through all that with you if you want to. It's a little bit more involved, but what we're working with is just truck driving. So these are the couple of things that we use. Commissions and fees, contract labor, 179. Okay, a 179 deduction is like he buys a CB. I can take it either in years, but as much as he goes through CBs, matter of fact, last year I think he bought 3 of them because, one was cheaper. He traded one in. Or, no, a matter of fact, I think I still have all 4 of them. I have all 4 of them. So what you do is that you take that CB that you know is going to be replaced by the end of the year and take it off of the tax return. Because guaranteed next year he's going to have another CB. So it's still in our home, but he doesn't have it in the truck. So his CBs I take off. He has a desk that he used. I took that all off last year because it's a reoccurring and he's not going to buy another one. So mortgage, we don't have any of this. Legal fees, like I said, taxes, traffic tickets, citations that he gets, overweight tickets, anything that he has to pay out of pocket for himself, that goes in there. His pens that he buys, it's here. His pens, his paper, envelopes, stuff like that you usually use for office stuff, it goes in here. Profit and loss, he doesn't have. Rent, lease, he doesn't have. Machinery, equipment, none of this. Repairs and maintenance, usually the only thing I put in here is what the company does not reimburse him for. Like oil and windshield wiper fluid and, stuff like that. Or he'll buy maintenance, like Windex and stuff like that for his truck. Oh, no. Sorry. I am misspeaking here. Repairs, such as, like, his oil and windshield wiper fluid and stuff like that goes in here. The bigger ticket items, usually what I put in here. His supplies are like his Windex and paper towels and, the essentials that you usually have in your own car, in your own house is what I put in there. Like he needs, like baby wipes. You can't get to a bathroom and you need to wash your hands. Well, we have baby wipes. It's the easiest thing to use. It stays good in his truck and, because it's climatized. So that we do. His taxes and license, when he gets when we have to renew his driver's license, we put it in taxes and licenses, obviously. Travel meals is what we were looking at. His deductible meals go here. If you would ever have to stay in a hotel, ever, that would go here. Or if he has to pay for a taxi to go somewhere because, his truck broke down and he can't get to somewhere, that goes in here. Utilities. We take 95% of his phone and put it in utilities because his phone is his link to his employer. That's what we do. Other expenses, say like he has a trucking book. We do that in there. His CDs that he listens to only on the truck, they don't ever come in the house. Those are under supplies. I put them under supplies or I put them under office expense because either or, he's listening to them in the truck. They're not coming back into the house unless he's done no longer on the truck. So what I did was I took a majority of these and put them into our paper. This is an Excel spreadsheet. Like I said, I have worked on this for 4 or 5 years just for hits. And it changes no matter what. I can have this glued down and it will change. But when you do this one, you also have to change your master. Because if you do not change your master copy, then all the crap you're putting in here will not transfer over to your master copy. And trust me, going through 12 months of receipts is not a happy thing to go through when you have a business. So what you do is that you make a monthly with all the days of the month. Shrink this a little bit again. Okay, so we have January, all the days of the month. I do every month for 31 days. Don't ask me, it helps me out. So every month has 31 days. If you don't put anything in like 30, 31, 29, whatever month it is, don't worry about it. It's just going to stay blank and it's not going to gather in your totals. Down here is your calculation. See, sum a B3, which is this one right here, to 33, which is this right here. This is the lines that it's reading. Okay, it's not reading what you have here. It's reading what's out. Oh, yeah. Don't do what I do and get screwed up by using the outside numbers. These numbers out here, these are not your dates. These are the dates I'm following that are on my receipts. Please do not follow these. I have done that before and had to go back and redo months. So usually when I have to go back and redo something, I either take the whole line out or I take the whole sheet out and start over again with that month. So be very careful. So if you see me going up and down, that is what I'm doing. Okay. Wow. Lost my voice there for a minute. Okay, so this tells me on the 3rd, I don't have a receipt, which means one, he either came home, or two, he had leftover food. I don't know. But he was 3 here, and then this is telling me he was home for a couple days, or I don't have receipts. So backup plan is to check fuel receipts. Yay, gotta love the freaking internet, right? Stupid things. Something as easy as this just pisses me off that my internet's not working right. Okay, so anyway, so as you can tell, for all the meals is 19 days, so we're going to go back over to the master copy. Gotta love when shit doesn't work right. I don't know what had happened. Let's try this again. Okay, I noticed that this right here wasn't working, wasn't calculating what I was putting in here, so we got to go change this. So we got to go to formula. So we're going to insert formula. There we go. Now everybody's copacetic. We are going to save. Always save. Well, does anybody have any questions, any comments, or anything so far? If you do, let me know. Looks like I might have to change my music screen here. Okay, we're gonna move our. I'm gonna go move my music screen to the lower corner. Give me a second. I think that might make everybody's viewing a little bit better. Okay, so sometimes you get the prices on your receipts of your showers. Sometimes you do not. So sometimes you got to go do research, which is what I'm going to have to do right now. Okay, what I was just putting in there in the office expense row was when he takes money out at like the ATMs or whatever, it charges him a fee. Well, that's coming out of his company card for money that he needs to survive on for his meals and showers and stuff like that. And so sometimes it charges him a fee if he's not getting fuel or whatever. Those come out on that line for office expense. That was a coffee mug. Okay, I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I get scatterbrained. I need to know what I put this $19 down here for. And in this case, it was for antifreeze. No. Yes. Yes, antifreeze. Including the tax and everything else that goes with it, it goes in here. All right. Very happy gamer day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.